Hi loves, I hope you're all doing well. I hope that June treated you well and not too much has been exposed or, broken down with so many more planets motioning retrograde. But let me know in the comments down below what word kind of really summed up June for you. Okay, so obviously the style of this reading is not how I even imagined. Now that, my chart isn't so vigorously activated, I should be able to do normal horoscopes starting next month. So I hope that this podcast style reading is okay for you. So essentially, obviously, we're going to just walk through. I'm going to be walking you through the month of July, touching on the astrology, my own intuitive insights for the month for your personal sign. Check your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. When it comes to the astrology, I feel, well, it depends. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So definitely there is this feeling in July about feeling exposed, right? We're still in eclipse transition season, right? So we're still in this transitional phase as we're wrapping up and finalizing the karmic build-up of Cancer Capricorn while embarking upon the abundant and exuberance of Gemini Sagittarius eclipses, right? So whenever the nodes dealing with fate and karma reach those last few degrees of a sign and the beginning degrees of a sign, this is like potent energy, okay? And it really can give that vibe of exposure. It's like cracking an egg open to reveal the goo inside, right? Once Pandora's box has been opened, it's impossible to, shut it away. After all, you can't uncrack an egg, right? So the planetary vibes for this month. So as we begin, and I like to look at, sunrise and kind of like where the planets are to really get a tone or a notion as to what this month can bring. And July 1st, we have the sun in Cancer pressing up upon, Mercury retrograde, okay? With the moon, the ruler of the sun, okay, the ruler of the chart, really, like the moon is in Scorpio and it's opposing Uranus. So when we're having Scorpio Uranus vibes, this is again a very expository vibe that we're experiencing, right? Mercury is still going to be retrograde until July 12th in the sign of Cancer, and when Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Cancer, we can find ourselves even exposing ourselves, exposing things from the past. Now usually in true Mercury fashion, it happens accidentally. The past gets brought up and then it gets dragged out into the open, and we discover things that we discover something and we kind of are faced with remembering it in a way that actualizes what really actually happened. So words like accountability are really strong for the month of July, especially, when we're looking at Saturn re-emerging back into the sign of Capricorn to join with Pluto and Jupiter for the new moon, okay, that's going to happen at the latter degrees of Cancer towards the end of the month. But Mercury is the messenger, okay? He travels between realms to get you the information that you need, okay? Mercury retrograde in Cancer unveils the part of you that needs to be heard, the part of you that needs to be healed, okay? So Cancer deals with things that, weigh heavy on our hearts. Emotions tend to be heightened, repressed memories resurface. There are memories and themes surrounding that sense of belonging, childhood, and the past, right? The inner child is almost throwing a tantrum with all of this energy and all of this, stuff that is being projected onto Cancer right now as we're wrapping up a big cycle. Things don't go to plan, and it can make you feel like a child again, feeling completely out of control, feeling controlless. And, the thing is, right, we have to remember Mars is in Aries, okay? This is crucial that we remember we can only control ourselves. We do not get to control the way that other people respond to us, our emotions, our actions, our thoughts, our feelings. We don't get to control that, okay? So July really is about owning up and showing up for yourself. It's about listening and hearing what you've not allowed, you've not allowed yourself to hear before. It's about owning all that you are, not just the parts of you that you feel are or will be deemed worthy. July can expose themes around parenthood and acknowledging the parts of us that are not necessarily our own, but have been imprinted upon us with, the generational patterns that are passed on through us from our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents and those early life experiences, because when a baby comes in, a baby isn't born racist, a baby isn't born with hate in its heart, a baby isn't born selfish, a baby isn't born any of these things. A baby, for the first 7 years of your life, you learn and you imitate and you imprint like a psychic sponge, Cancer sponge, right? You kind of, you take on, the karmas and the stuff of, your parents, because they are your first understanding of the world. And, so it's kind of like your past influence forges who you are, but your responding actions or reactions, that's all you right now, right? Because I'm sure nobody listening to this is a child, right? So nobody is to blame for what you do but you. Okay, so with many planets that are in retrograde this month, okay, we're being forced to look back, way back, and to right and heal the wrongs that have been made and have been done, right? Because Cancer, Capricorn eclipses, they only come about every 18 years. And the cycle is even more significant because we have planets that have been together, they haven't been together for hundreds of years, and now they're coming back in. So it's bringing those karmas from that time period of when they were together last, which is big, which is why big stuff is happening right now. It has to happen. It has to feel uncomfortable. It has to feel these ickiness, right? It has to feel this way, uncomfortable, in order to pave the way for change, right? Because nothing new can be built on something old. You have to destroy it, right? You have to destroy what was once there in order to rebuild. Otherwise you have, you end up with root rot and stuff that will just it's just not good, right? So we can definitely clearly see, looking at the astrology, that there is an imbalance with power dynamics, right? Saturn, when it was in Aquarius, obviously it will enter back into Aquarius permanently in December again. But we, the people are realizing power lies within us all along, right? The people that we elect, into positions of power, fame, and influence are only there because we put them there. With support, with attention, with our money, with purchases. And as quick as we give our time, our energy, and our money, we can decide not to. And the only person that you can control, again, this is a Mars and Aries issue, is you, right? You need to not only speak your standard, but you need to live it. You need to also take action upon it. You can't hide from yourself right now. That is literally impossible with the planetary energy that's going on. And people around you, we're all seeing people for who they really are, and if you live in your authenticity, there's nothing to fear because you're not hiding from the shadow of yourself, right? You're not hiding from yourself. But those who live in the realm of make-believe and are consumed by the external, and there is no judgment. I don't say that with judgment in my heart, not at all. Everything happens for a reason. It's a part of your life experience and your life journey. But living in the Neptunian realms of social media, it can be a time where that mask will slip because literally everything is recorded. Everything, there are receipts, right? There's receipts for everything. And we're going to see an uprise in those receipts. When it comes to those things. And a lot of it is bringing the past back up. The past is being resurrected, with that Pluto looking at that new moon, a lot of those things are coming back to the surface. So as I said, okay, July has this element of a continual exposure. And I sense that the information, correspondences and miscommunications are still highly likely for the month of July, but the central vibe is in and surrounding change, okay? Sudden and unexpected, out of the box, shocking stuff coming to light this month. So whatever is revealed, it will alter everything for you. you know. So once you know something, once you learn something, it's like a domino effect in your brain, right? Everything starts to get rewired in a sense. So it can change your home, it can change your family dynamics, it can change your beliefs about someone or something. It can even change or bring about a change in about, you know, your careers or your ambitions as a result of the events that unfold in July. You might discover or learn or explore something that changes things for you. But honestly, like, what I'm seeing is a flip on the script that is your life, be it in love, home, work, or even yourself somehow. But I also have to add that whatever happens is somehow supposed to happen. There's a touch of destiny about it. The nodes are involved, destiny is upon us, right? So I know some of the things that I've already mentioned about July, if you've made it this far into the reading, they can seem a little bit triggering. I only tell you what I see and what I sense, and I assure you that there's a lot here that is aligning you to your purpose this month. Sometimes shocking events need to happen to trigger us into action, to make the change, to move and shake things up. And a lot of what I feel will build, and perhaps it might not even culminate until we get into November this year. But significant things are happening in July to inspire action and change. So, you know, whatever you wanted, you know, you might decide this month that you don't want it anymore. Mercury goes direct, and, you know, so, you know, if you have been making bad choices, falling back into past behaviors, habits, relationships, etc., right? You might, in the second part of this month, discover nothing's actually changed at all. And those old problems, they're all still there. Now, I do have a link in the information box below if you want to check out more about your personal Mercury retrograde transit. But now let's move on to the month of July, right? If you would like me to, you know, look at all of this for you in a personal session, feel free to check out my services. I will also leave a link in the cards and in the information box below. Hi Libras, suns, moons and rising signs. So your video, just like Scorpios and Sagittarius, got corrupted, and so I couldn't even salvage it, and I have zero clues what I even wrote down, because sometimes after I do a reading I'll burn the pages. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I have drawn new cards. I've got the astrology chart open up, so let's have a look and see what July has in store for you, be it you are a Libra sun, a Libra moon, or a Libra rising sign. So the energy that you're emitting is kind of like you're ready to kind of meet the world again, right? You're ready to kind of just be out and to socialize, to mingle, to connect. You're in this very kind of like, it feels hippie, like I'm getting like a hippie vibe from you. Be that what it may, you can, you know, dissect that symbolism if you feel called to. But I feel like a lot of this energy around this month is, okay, so my recording just keeps on stopping and starting. This is so annoying. So the theme of the month, I feel like you're going to get an important invite this month. An invitation for sure is coming your way. Something that might prove to be long lasting. Okay, this could be the event that is going to take a while to come into action, like you're being given a date and a time for something. It could be as a result of this invite, you know, there are long-term ramifications to this invitation that you're being given, you know. But the theme is on, in some respects, it's kind of like peace and tranquility and finding your zen, you know. It's just these, I don't know, like what I'm getting is that there is a certain kind of passivity to this month, but yeah, like I feel like you're just kind of like, you're ready to emerge into the world. You're not wanting to be all heavy and down, and you know, you just want to enjoy, and it's just very like, I'm getting like hippie vibes, man. So as a side note though, you might get a hookup from perhaps a work colleague, past or present. It could be someone might offer you a job or a connect in some regard that could offer you something, you know. So it kind of feels like You're being offered either a job, you're being offered like, oh, meet this person, they do X, Y, Z, and then that person is someone who can assist you in something. It feels like there is something, like there's lots of introductionary type things that are occurring that I'm picking up on for this month. But I definitely, like, yeah, I'm getting the arrival of someone. Maybe something as well, like this could be news, it could be information, it could be the answer that you're needing that's going to enable you to shift or create some sort of movement or action in your life. Because, like, here's the thing, like, when I'm tuning into you, it's like you just want to take your time, you just want to go slow, you just want to enjoy and just be present with everything. But it kind of feels like everything else, I got this for another reading, I don't know if it was a weekly reading. Anyway, yeah, like I'm getting like this feeling like everything is changing super quickly, but you're like, no, like I'm not ready to go. It's kind of like when a car, you know, it revs and like it squeals as it's about to like take off. I don't even know what the right terminology is, but it kind of feels like that. Like you're just ready to kind of take a nice cruise, and then all of a sudden someone is like slamming on the gas and like boom, like everything's happening. So I don't know, perhaps someone is going to do something on your behalf that aids you in some way, speeds things along, even though you're not maybe in a place where you do want to speed things along, maybe. So just like tapping into last month, because I did say that for June, you know, some of those things are going to be kind of brought into July to some sort of regard. And I feel like with last month, there's things stemming from the home. I don't know why, like home, social things, something socially that happened in the home. Like I'm definitely getting home vibes. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, Capricorn. Oh, it could have just been because everything was going retrograde, right? Because there's Saturn there, there's Jupiter there, there's Pluto there. And as things started to go retrograde, maybe like something was just happening in that. Maybe some sort of romantic, it might not even been you. It might have been like if you live with somebody, you know, maybe something happened with them and then it changes something with you. You know what I'm seeing here? You know that episode of Friends where Monica and Chandler, I think they're basically trying to get rid of Rachel, you know, basically hinting at the fact that, you know, she needs to find a new place to live. It kind of feels like that. It feels like something monumental is shifting or changing. Now, it doesn't have to play out like that. It could be that there was some sort of social event that happened in the home that, you know, you had some grievances with, like you're not happy about that situation that happened. And so there's just like these basically things that happened in private, but somehow there is something social involved with that. It's kind of being brought back up in this month. Now, obviously, when we're talking about this month, there could be a rise of, you know, doing something because, you know, the rules or someone in authority is saying that this is how it has to be, this is how it should be. But it's kind of like you're not doing it because you want to do it. You kind of have this kind of, like, it's like someone is obligating you to do something, and, you know, because you're in this phase of, I just want it to be easy peasy, easy breezy, right? You're just in this hippie mode, right? You just kind of going along with it because it seems easier. You don't want to have a confrontation. You don't want to fight about it. And it just seems easier for you to do what is expected of you. But at the same time, there is this underlying nagging thing that something this month, it just feels like it might not be in alignment with your morals. Like something feels like, I'm not okay with this, but I'm just going to go with it because I just cannot be bothered to argue or to create conflict or an argument. Like I'm just not about that right now. I just want to enjoy this, right? It's kind of like that sort of a vibe. And again, that thing is going to keep, it's like a scratch. Like it's going to keep on itching you. Like the more like you ignore it, the more itchy it's going to get, right? And again, I just feel like you're wanting to be passive this month. You're wanting to be passive, but it's almost like circumstances are almost triggering you into action. And I also feel that someone might have or will make a promise to you that can actually take some of that pressure off and can bring you some sort of peace of mind, right? You might also be visiting someone or a place connected to your past, because what I'm hearing, it feels like almost like a grandma vibe. I don't know. Like, I just hear like you always do the right thing. You always do the right thing. I don't know if someone is like passively aggressively like saying this to you or something, but someone is basically making you feel like virtuous to a certain extent. And I do feel like there's a lot of healing that can come about with that. So let's say like you are like being asked to move out, or there's some sort of change or something that's happened within your home living security situation. It's almost like going back home. There is something healing involved with that respect to a certain extent. Now, whatever is going on, there could be complications in connection to your lifestyle. Okay, so let's say like you do have to go back home for whatever reason, you know, that's going to affect your lifestyle. You know, we have to live by the rules of whoever lives there, whoever owns the place, right? And I also feel like whatever burdens that were weighing on you will begin to lift this month. It's like someone can be, I don't know, like someone is coming in, or it's like someone can lift the issue or the burden that you're experiencing. And I just feel like this is going to be something that doesn't just happen this month. It's going to continue to unfold in the months that follow. Now, perhaps because of the results of this month, you might be spending a lot more time with people groups or past places, people connected to the past for the most part. And there's a reason. Everything happens for a reason, right? There's a reason why this is happening for you. And what I would say though, everything happens for a reason. So you're being drawn back to this old group, these old people connected to the past in some way, whether it is old work colleagues, if you are being offered a job in an old place, or with someone who works somewhere new. I also feel like, you know, remember that certain people are in the rearview mirror. Certain people are in your past for a reason, and not all of them will prove to be a thorn in your side, but there are going to be still those people who are still going to have that influence on you, right? There are still going to be those people that you're connecting with that are a thorn in your side, right? And it might be all well and good to, you know, remember the pleasant stuff, the good times, especially right now, but it feels a little bit like you're having a selective memory. And I just want to bring that to your awareness. Now, nonetheless, I do sense that this is a place of an important party or an invite in connection with these people. Maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a reconnect that is being provided for you. Now, what you can't see and what is brewing beneath the surface, and I'm not sure if there are aspects of you that are just being nostalgic, but it feels like you're missing home somewhat. You're missing the old way. You're missing the past. And there could be some emotional upsets with your living situation that is just beneath the surface. It could also be that, you know, these are old memories and feelings that are resurfacing or awakening within you. But a lot of this is leading you to an important meeting, someone connected to you spiritually. It could be a karmic connection, a soulmate connection, which, as you know, doesn't need to be romantic, although they can be. But it's someone of importance that is coming into your life. So amongst the feelings this month, know that things are unfolding, and whatever is unfolding, it is truly happening for a reason to lead you to this person, the arrival of a new friend. And as a result of that arrival of a new friend, there is going to be those significant shifts in social aspects too. But this is a positive thing. So even though something that is going on feels a little uncomfortable and just annoying and irritating, know that everything is happening for a reason. Now, please note that my readings are intentionally done. I set the intention that my readings are only ever found by those who need to hear them and or find me organically. So this by no means will have relevance for all people who are listening to this video. They are general readings, and if the message hits home and if it resonates with you, you're going to feel it. So be safe, be well. Remember that everything happens for a reason. Follow the stars and always trust your vibes. Have a blessed July. Bye.